Indian fighter aircraft, Pakistani fighter aircraft have been involved in an air battle of sorts since late last night. There are a lot of claims and counterclaims which we hope to get clarified very soon. There appear to be some military losses as far as fighter aircraft are concerned on the Indian side as well as the Pakistan side. Lots of misinformation by way of old videos, old images from news clippings being put out by the Pakistan media and the Pakistan ISPR at this point of time in order to make it look like they're dominating the narrative. But a lot of myth busting is taking place already on social media. But there is a huge information vacuum right now. So two aspects of what we're looking at in the wake of Operation Sindoor is what's happening at the line of control, because that is the live escalating situation right now, which could expand into the international border if it is not contained. The other is the aerial aspect of it. All of this, of course, in the wake of 9 targeted strikes on terrorist infrastructure from Bahawalpur to Muzaffarabad to Kotli to Muridke and to 5 other targets in Pakistani Punjab as well as Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
In fact, in 45 minutes from now is when the press conference will be addressed at the National Media Center, and that's where Sunil Prabhu is. Sunil, what can you tell us? I can see you right inside the National Media Center.
That's right, Maria. And in fact, I want to show you the army officials. There's going to be a PowerPoint presentation, so the entire world and everybody can watch that. The armed forces are already here. The army, Indian Army personnel. There will be also from the Indian Air Force, and we'll wait and see who else is part of these deliberations. But this is clearly signed the entire tri-services, the Navy, the Air Force as well as the Army, and the Chief of Defence Staff's colors are here. Their flags have been put there specifically for this presentation, which is going to be done by a Major General rank in a short while from now, as you said, at 10 o'clock. And hopefully that PowerPoint presentation will be able to answer what exactly happened and what are the steps that India is taking. There will also be a statement from the Ministry of Civil Aviation because there are a lot of concerns for people like you and me who are civilians, who are worried about flights that they have booked. There have been no time for certain areas, and it's in that directive which is civilian friendly and press friendly in terms of people's information. That also is expected to be given out at this press conference. So definitely a multi-pronged response with not only the Army, the Air Force. As I said, we are not sure whether the MEA will be here, but there will definitely be a government spokesperson, and from the Ministry of Civil Aviation also a statement is expected in the course of the next few minutes. Once that press conference gets underway at 10 o'clock, there will be a PowerPoint presentation by our armed forces to deliberate and inform the entire country and the world at large about what exactly has happened during the course of this night, where you and me have been awake, keeping people informed about these airstrikes, the 9 specific points, the routes of terror, where the Jaish-e-Mohammed and LET have been attacked. These are places which have been emanating terror for a very, very long time, and the real touching point was when 26 innocent civilians were killed.
Joining us from Srinagar. Nazir, 9 sites selected for the operation, which has a history of association with major terror plots and also infiltration attempts directed in India. We have spoken about Bahawalpur, we have spoken about Muridke. What about others?
Well, if you just see the visuals coming from Pakistan, it clearly shows that the strikes have hit very, very hard. What are the number of casualties or the terrorist leadership who all have been targeted in this, it's still not known. But as we know, Bahawalpur has been the headquarters of Jaish-e-Mohammed, where Masood Azhar was operating. Muridke, whether it was initially Jamaat al-Dawat Irshad, then it was transferred into Lashkar-e-Tayyiba, and then where Hafiz Saeed and his whole ideology was flourishing. Then we know in Muzaffarabad, then we know Kotli fire sites in POK, which have been targeted, which according to army have been the terror sites, whether these are launch pads or whether they are terror training camps or which are the ideological basis of those groups. Pakistan has admitted eight casualties. However, they are saying they are all civilians, most of them children and women. Having said that, this is first time they are admitting casualties. They are admitting it has hit them very hard, unlike 2016 or 2019, when they were in a denial mode despite the fact there was a surgical strike and there was also Balakot strikes as well, air strikes as well. But this time India has hit very deep and very hard, deep inside Pakistan in Bahawalpur. But here also there has been apparently some losses of air forces. Some fighter jets apparently have been lost in this fight with Pakistan here. We will be waiting for the official word on that. What is the amount of loss and how all it has happened? But during the night, it was a chaotic night. One update is important that the artillery shelling on the border has stopped right now. This halt. But during the whole night till morning, it was raining. These bombs were raining, artillery shells were raining. It just caused huge damage to the property and the lives to the border areas, particularly in Tangdar area, wherein the main marketplace has also been hit by the shells. 3 civilians have been killed, over a dozen have been injured. 4 injured have been brought to Baramulla Hospital, and I spoke to some of the doctors and they say they are all stable and they have received minor injuries. But the kind of situation it has created after Pahalgam terror attack, India has sent very loud and clear message that if you
there by India. Nazir, thanks very much for sharing those details with us. What I'd like to do at this stage is just point out to our viewers some of the areas which have been struck. Now, this is not exhaustive. There are 9 targets. We will try and bring out those 9 targets later on. But the key point we are mentioning over here is right from the line of control going into the international border, going west of the border between Punjab and Rajasthan, India has struck. Bahawalpur Key, this is the Jaish-e-Mohammed's camp, that has been blown up. That lies 150 kilometers approximately inside Pakistan. The other areas which have been struck, Murid-ke, 30 kilometers inside Pakistan, the Sawai camp, about 30 kilometers, Gulpur, 35 kilometers inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. So just broadly speaking, some of the areas which have been struck are west of the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. Other areas which have been struck are west of the line of control. As a result of India's strikes, all of which were successful, and these actually list a few of the other camps. We have not marked all of them over here. They're all between 15, 10, 8. So some of them are very shallow strikes. Some of them are strikes in depth. These are, by which I mean Bahawalpur, the most in-depth strikes which India has conducted on Pakistan since the 1971 war. What has also taken place is that this entire front on the line of control between India and Pakistan going down to the line of control, to the international border, which you don't see very clearly over here, the international border is now completely alive. There is very heavy artillery shelling which is taking place over there. Let's move to the next point, give you a few more details of what it is that we are talking about, the significance of the operations. Quickly change the point, all right. The Bahawalpur camp, that's what I was talking about. The terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed's headquarters has been destroyed. Let's move to the next point where we can talk about Bahawalpur again. It is a planning hub for major operations and attacks. Let's keep going from point to point so that we can tell our viewers. Murid-ke. Murid-ke is over here, 30 kilometers inside Pakistan. It's a major base of the Lashkar-e-Toiba. Why is Murid-ke important? Because the 2611 Mumbai attackers had trained over here. That has also been destroyed by India. Let's go to a few of the other points which we have over here. Gulpur, that's about 35 kilometers inside Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It's a launch pad for attacks which took place in Rajouri earlier on. Sawai, this is a camp over here, 30 kilometers inside the line of control. This has been struck. It's a Lashkar-e-Toiba camp linked to Sonmarg, Gulmarg and the Pahalgam attack. So wherever terrorists struck India, India has struck back. Some of these were hit using loitering drones. Others were used using cruise missiles. Kotli is another area which was struck. This was a bomber training hub, 50 plus terrorists. We don't have that on the map right now. We'll try and bring that for you in a little while from now. So several areas have been struck by India, including Sarjal and Barnala. These are all close to the line of control and the international border. That's what we have at this juncture in terms of the strikes that India